Wednesday, Season 1, Novelization. Chapter 1. Months earlier. My parents are kissing passionately in the seat across from me. It's a good thing we drive in a funeral vehicle because I'm seconds from expiring. Cause of death? Pure revulsion. I'm convinced a coffin 6 feet under would be a preferable destination to one I'm heading for. Nevermore Academy. The very campus I swore as a child I would never set foot on. Anything that makes my father misty-eyed is something I reject similarly, including my mother, who surfaces for air and turns her imprecise gaze on me. "Darling, how long do you intend on giving us the cold shoulder?" she asks. I don't turn my gaze from the window. "Lurch," I say in an even tone, addressing the family's monstrous butler in the driver's seat. "Please remind my parents I'm not speaking to them." Lurch moans as he's wont to do. Right now, I prefer it to the conversation my parents have been trying to have with me since we left home this morning. I know my father understands the warning in his tone, but he ignores it. "I promise you, my little viper, you'll love Nevermore, won't she, Tish?" My father is incapable of having an opinion my mother doesn't share. It's unnatural and only increases my nausea. "Of course," my mother says. "It's the perfect school for her." These words grate against my already frayed nerves. I abhor a cliché, but certainly adolescent experiences, I suppose, are universal, and there's nothing I detest more than being told who I am or what's good for me by my mother. "Why?" I snap, breaking my silence, against my will. "Because it was perfect for you?" She doesn't even deign to respond, just smirks in that way of hers, non-verbally suggesting that everything she thinks is objectively correct, baiting me with that knowing silence, and I bite, which only makes me more furious at both of us. "I have no interest in following in your footsteps," I say, "becoming captain of the fencing team, queen of the dark prom, president of the Seance Society." I try to infuse these accomplishments with as much disdain as possible, but of course, she looks even more smug. "I merely meant that you will be finally among your peers who understand you," she says. "Maybe you'll even make some friends." This I don't dignify with a response. Friendship, in my experience, requires opting into a series of identifiers that I have never had any interest in. Psychologists say that adolescent friendships are made and broken almost entirely on being in or out of a group, and I've never been part of any group. I don't intend to start with one that I would have had to be with my parents. Besides, I don't believe my mother has ever had a friend. She's had followers, sociopaths. She's been trying to get me to join their ranks since I was born. "Nevermore is like no other boarding school," my father says, gazing at her, utterly proving my point. "It's a magical place. It's where I met your mother and we fell in love." You'd think I would be used to that moony look on his face, the way he takes her hand in his and sighs like the car is powered by his personal carbon dioxide emissions and not fossil fuels that are burning the planet and everyone on it at an alarming rate. I know there's no use trying to interrupt them. Even my most carefully sharpened verbal barbs have always failed in that endeavor. Instead, I turn back toward the window, taking refuge in the last memory that brought me peace. I can almost feel the cheap linoleum flooring of Nancy Reagan High beneath my Mary Jane's. See the half-closed locker barely containing my brother, who spilled out, red-faced and humiliated, an apple jammed into his mouth. I touch his arm and it happens. A vision, a jolt of past or future that violently overrides my circuitry. It's hard to explain how it feels. Like electroshock therapy without the satisfying afterburn. These visions have been plaguing me for the past few months, but this one showed something actionable, at least. The identity of my brother's tormentors. From there, vengeance wasn't hard to obtain. It took me a few days to get the piranhas. My guy at the exotic animal store dragged his feet until I unearthed some photos of him and his current mistress that considerably dampened his curiosity about what I wanted them for. The memory of standing at the edge of the pool during water polo practice carries me all the way up to the drive to Nevermore. The amusement turned panic in the culprit's eyes, the sleek silver bodies of fish streaking through the overchlorinated water, the way they somehow knew to go straight for the family jewels. I'll never forget the way the vivid red blood contrasted with the blue of the water, or the screams filling the water sports practice center. I couldn't have set a better stage. Incredible acoustics. They lived, unfortunately. My one solace is their parents didn't press charges for attempted murder. Imagine a lifetime of everyone looking at your record and knowing you failed to finish the job.